You're watching Health Media Network, helping people live healthier lives. It's estimated that there are anywhere from 1.6 million to 3.8 million concussions every year, and in no sports are there more concussions reported than football. While there's a lot of focus on the problem in professional football, the injuries actually begin in youth sports, which is important because concussions have a cumulative effect over time. What is alarming is that 47% of athletes don't recognize or report the symptoms of a concussion to their parents, coaches, or trainers for fear of being taken out of the game. The National Football League and USA Football have started a new program called Heads Up to reduce the number of concussions and head injuries.
Heads Up Football is a great program because it's how we want to block, tackle, and play the game of football with our head and our eyes up.
USA Football is establishing standards by which a person becomes certified to coach.
Let's train them to be their very best.
Beyond coaching, Safer Techniques, a program called Unstoppable, is working with athletic trainers to make sure coaches, players, and parents know the symptoms of a concussion and to make sure athletes get the proper follow-up. The signs and symptoms of a concussion can be subtle and may not be immediately apparent. Symptoms can last for days, weeks, or even longer. The most common symptoms after a concussion are headache, amnesia, and confusion. The amnesia, which may or may not be preceded by a loss of consciousness, almost always involves the loss of memory of the impact that caused the concussion. Other symptoms include dizziness or seeing stars, ringing in the ears, nausea, slurred speech, and fatigue. Some symptoms of concussions may be immediate or delayed in onset by hours or days after injury, like problems concentrating, irritability, and sensitivity to light and noise. If your child experiences a head injury, even if emergency care isn't required, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that you call your child's doctor for advice if your child receives anything more than a light bump on the head. If your child remains alert, moves normally, and responds to you, the injury is probably mild and usually doesn't need further testing. In Chicago, a company called Healthy Text has developed a text messaging campaign to educate young athletes about concussions.
Initially, we were giving out pieces of paper, and pieces of paper from a doctor have very little appeal to a 17-year-old kid or an 18-year-old kid. But text messaging, they like. So they like to receive these engaging messages from time to time throughout the season, telling them about concussions, what a concussion is, about dehydration, tips on how to stay hydrated, so we can communicate with them in a way that they like to receive the message and get the word out.
Healthy Text is making their program available nationwide. For more information, go to www.healthy-txt.com. To learn more about the Heads Up program, go to usafootball.com. I'm Janet Langer reporting.